So, you want to start your journey on being better prepared for an emergency situation. But how? Where do you start? Today, I'm going to give you some tips and ideas on where to start. These tips and ideas is what got me into doing this through my many, many hours of research. I actually happened upon an advertisement over the radio at work. They were talking about the local storms and how we were having a lot of blackouts and a lot of heavy storms. The entire flashlight and battery section where I worked was sold out for weeks. They ran an ad on the radio talking about FEMA and how they have on their website an article, which I'll put a link to that in the description so you guys can download that PDF if you're so inclined. I looked into it, and it's actually a pretty solid start point for most households. It's an excellent way, in my opinion anyways, to start basic prepping, basic emergency preps. We're not talking, go live in the woods for, extended period of time. We're not talking zombie apocalypse, nothing like that. We're talking, power outage due to wind, storms, ice, whatever. In there, you're going to see, this is, they call it their basic disaster supplies kit. They're going to give you basic stuff like water, 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days for drinking and sanitation. Now, this kit is designed for a 3-day scenario. Out of power for 3 days is typically. Food, at least a 3-day supply of non-perishables. Battery powered or hand cranked radio and a NOAA weather radio with a tone alert. I keep weather radios all over the house. Good flashlight, first aid kit. You can get really solid, rather complete actually, first aid kits for around $10 at Walmart. They're like 144 a piece or some ridiculousness. Some kind of whistle in case you need to signal. Dust mask. That one you could probably skip if you're not so much worried about contaminated air. I did put these in mine, and I'll get to why in a minute. Plastic sheeting and duct tape, and then personal sanitation, ways to take care of number 1 and number 2. Manual can openers. Local maps are excellent. You can buy your local maps and you can buy them in laminated, which is excellent. They've added, since I've started my journey on this, cell phone chargers, backup batteries, stuff like that. Then they go on and they have a list of their extended list, which I would actually recommend that the additional supplies should be part of your starter kit, as it were. Cloth face coverings, hand soap, bar soap, like Dial Gold, stuff like that. That's excellent soap. Hand sanitizer, disinfecting wipes. Prescription medications. This is something often overlooked by a lot of people. Non-prescription medications such as pain relievers, ibuprofen, aspirin, Tylenol, anti-diarrhea medication. This is one of my top things I put in all my survival stuff, is anti-diarrhea medication. And then things like antacids or laxatives if you need to go the other way. Prescription eyeglasses and contact lens solutions. These are things that another things that people don't consider. Whenever I get a new pair of glasses, I take my old pair, put them in a hard case, and I put those and I cycle them out in my supplies tote that I have in the closet. Because if stuff went sideways in the middle of the night and a tree fell over and broke your glasses, and if you're like me and you can't see anything without your glasses, then you're kind of SOL. If you have infants, diaper bag stuff, formula, bottle diapers, etc. If you have a pet, like we have a dog, so I keep extra dog food. I keep at least one bag of dog food, like we use the 24-pound bags. I keep one extra 24-pound bag, and then extra water for your pet. It's recommended for cash or traveler's checks, and I understand that a lot of people are on a budget and they can't just keep $100 cash somewhere hidden in their house, and I understand that. I would just recommend that you try to have cash on you at all times. I don't like carrying cash personally, but if the whole city is out of power, what stores are going to be open are going to take cash only. Copies of family documents are super important. Now what I've done is every member of my family, I have made photocopies or digital photocopies, PDFs of the Social Security cards, ID, and birth certificate, and all that is on a secure flash drive in a secure place. So if we lose our house in a fire, I can grab that, and we have all of our important documents to get everything replenished, because I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Social Security office, it's a nightmare. Sleeping bags, warm blankets, I recommend whatever you can fit in your space allotted. Complete change of clothing, extra clothes, extra shoes. Fire extinguisher. This one is super, super important. I have a fire extinguisher in my bedroom, the kids' bedroom, one in the closet next to my bedroom, and one in the kitchen itself. So we have fire extinguisher in basically every room in our apartment. So if something were to break out, it could be handled rather quickly. And make sure you're getting the appropriate rated fire extinguisher for whatever it is. I have a couple different options. Your standard red ones are good for like wood, paper, that kind of stuff. They make specialty ones that are good for grease fires. And those are usually white, I believe. But you'll see the rating on it. Walmart actually has a sale on fire extinguishers right now, so I would take advantage of that. Matches in waterproof container. Feminine hygiene, super important. If you're not going to be able to get to the store for a few days, make sure you have an extra feminine hygiene kit for every woman in your household. Mess kits, paper plates, stuff like that. And then something to keep entertained, occupied for the time, you know, while you're waiting for rescue or whatever. Something to pass the time, books, games, puzzles, whatever. Something to keep you active. So, like I said, I'm going to link this in the description so you guys can have it for your own usage. Like I said before, this covers a wide variety. It's a very general disaster thing. It doesn't cover everything. So that's something that you'll need to assess for yourself, for your individual area, and possible situations you could come across. So as an example, where I live is very flat, and in certain times of the year, we are prone to flash floods, which can cause a lot of problems. We are prone to heavy snow, not as much as like the other side of Ohio, but we are prone to heavy snow, and that causes all kinds of issues. And most importantly, and this is what started getting me into this, is tornadoes. This area, we've had one tornado since I've lived out here, and it was only an F1, I believe. It wasn't very big, but it was within a mile of where I live, so it was pretty scary. So for my kit, I keep extra blankets. Fleece blankets are amazing. For as thin as they are, they can hold a lot of warmth. And then like packages of hot hands. They go on clearance after hunting season usually at pretty much every store, so you can pick them up in droves for a third of their regular price, and that's pretty much what I do. And they last for a while. The ones I'm using right now for my hunting activities are, I want to say 3 years old, and they still work. So for tornado related type stuff, I have everything in an easy to carry tote that's red, which red totes you can get around the holidays, which is now. So I can grab it, stick it in the back of my SUV, grab the kids, and go, because I live in an upstairs apartment and there is no basement access. So I can grab it, shove it in there, get the kids, shove the kids in there, grab the dog, and go the opposite direction of the storm, which is actually what we ended up having to do when that tornado came through here. So if you have a house or otherwise have access to a safe basement, you can put this tornado shelter kit, so to speak, in your designated tornado area within your basement. That way you don't have to worry about grabbing it and moving it and all that stuff. You can just, grab the kids and everyone and head down to the basement, and hopefully everything will be all right. So hopefully that gives you a better understanding on where to start. Don't delay. Be prepared. Being prepared for an emergency can take a lot of stress off you. I can tell you from personal experience that we have gone, due to high winds, we have gone upwards of a week without power. And because of my preps, we were essentially living like kings. I'm going to do a part 2 to this, where I'm going to go over extending the kit that I went over, extending the FEMA kit into other options, other possibilities, things that I would recommend as well. And remember, always be prepared.